In this video, we will address some of your most common questions regarding electrical insulated gloves and how to use them properly. Let's start.
Why are electrical insulating gloves among the most important articles of PPE for electrical workers?
Exposure to electricity greater than 500 voltage can cause serious damage to the human body and organs. That's why it's important to understand the adverse side effects of electrical exposure before performing any electrical work.
What global standards do our gloves meet?
Ansell electrical insulated gloves adhere to 2 global accreditation standards, which include EN 60903 for Europe and ASTM D120 for North America.
Are all gloves manufactured to the same dimensions?
Gloves are required to be manufactured in accordance with EN 60903 and ASTM measurements, which allow manufacturers to select a set of unique dimensions that fit the preferred dimensions of each manufacturer.
How do I know what glove to use?
There are 3 methods to help you choose the right type of glove. Firstly, determine the maximum voltage that you may be exposed to. Always use phase-to-ground potential for single-phase work, and use phase-to-phase potential for 3-phase work.
What do the different colors mean?
Each class of glove has its own label color to provide end users with a quick visual reference when wearing or selecting a glove.
How do I determine what size of glove is right for me?
Make sure to measure the diameter of your palm to determine the right glove size.
What are the standards for periodic inspection and electrical retesting of electrical rubber insulated gloves?
ASTM D120 states that gloves have 1-year usage from the issue date. Unissued gloves that exceed the test date by 12 months must be retested. Gloves will need to be visually and electrically tested in accordance with ASTM F496 6 months after the original issue date. IEC EN 60903 standards note that no gloves should be used unless they have been tested within 6 months. Class 00 and Class 0 gloves must be checked for air leaks and also visually inspected. It is not compulsory to perform electrical proof test, and visual inspection is still required before use.
Are there any other standards for retesting?
OSHA 1910.137 is in line with ASTM D120 for non-telecom users. Meanwhile, telecom users may follow OSHA 1910.268, which requires electrical testing before first use and further testing again after 6 months and every 6 months thereafter.
What should workers do before each use?
Workers are required to visually inspect for cuts, holes, or any form of deterioration. They must perform air inflation tests to find unseen pinholes. Lastly, all gloves must be used within recommended test periods.
What should workers do after each use?
Proper storage is necessary to ensure no damage to the glove. Gloves should be stored in an ActivArmr canvas bag to avoid excess sunlight or sources of ozone that may damage the glove. When storing, do not fold, crease, turn inside out, compress, or stretch the gloves in any form. If the glove is inspected and still contains residues, the glove should be cleaned to avoid further damage. Wash with soap and rinse thoroughly with water. Be sure to air dry the glove at less than 120 degrees Fahrenheit before storing them in a canvas bag.
How do you define proper warehouse storage?
All gloves must be stored in its original packaging with a desired ambient storage temperature of no less than 95 degrees Fahrenheit.
What is the manufacturing guarantee on our gloves?
Ansell shall replace unused gloves, which at any time within a period of 9 months from the delivery date has failed to pass the required tests. This guarantee only applies if storage conditions have been met and the glove has not been subjected to more than an original acceptance test and 1 retest.